We're talking about fun today, and let's maybe try and balance this a little bit because there are some warnings about people who love fun or entertainment or, dare I say it, indulgence. So how do we balance this out?
It's great that you raised that because there is, as you say, there are actually quite serious warnings, like this idea of Paul talks to Timothy, and he's actually warning Timothy about a certain kind of person. And he says, this is a person who loves pleasure more than they love God.
Mm,
And as I was sort of just following that train of thought, I was thinking about, Jesus and the parable of the soils,
yeah.
and he talks about the seed gets sown, and there's a certain kind of soil that he said the seed sort of
Stony
germinates, but it
ground.
gets
It's the stony
yeah,
ground, right? Yes.
it gets
Theological
choked.
points. All right. Yeah.
What does he say? It gets choked out. The pleasures, he says, the riches and the pleasures of life choke out the word of God.
Mm,
And so there is that danger that we can become enslaved by our passions, like every legitimate thing, okay?
mm.
Every good and legitimate pleasure, there's always that risk of tipping over the edge and it becoming, dominating our lives, and sort of controlling our lives, and things like sex and things like sensuality, or things like just having a party.
Mm.
These things can sort of tip and become actually quite damaging and harmful things in our lives. So it's a really difficult balance, but it's kind of like keeping the focus on, what is this all for? Where does this come from? This comes from the hand of God. This is so that I might glorify and enjoy him more in my life, by refreshing myself and finding rest in life, in moments of life when I need it.
I remember one of the translations of John 10:10 that talks about, the thief comes to rob, kill, and destroy, but I've come that you would have life and life in abundance. One translation says that you would have life and that you would enjoy it, which is an interesting idea. So this balance of understanding what life is for and who it's from, and even again, to add another dimension to this, those who are in ministry often struggle to take a break from what they're doing because this is a really important calling. And in some ways, you make a rod for your own back. I think of when I was involved in kids ministry for a number of years, and you have this thought of, well, but I have to be there. Like if I'm not there, who's going to do it, Geoff?
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, if you go back to the Puritans, the Puritans get a hard time. So they were the guys living in the 1600s, in England, and they went to America, and everyone loves to hate the Puritans. But the Puritans they wrote this teaching tool for children, and it's called the Westminster Shorter Catechism.
Oh,
All right. And,
yes.
and it's actually because it comes out of Westminster Parliament.
Hmm.
And the very first question is, what is man's chief end? In other words, what is the purpose? What is your main purpose in life? What is your goal in life? And the answer is to glorify God and to enjoy him forever, you know? So,
That is
so that's the
great.
answer. So they understood that we are built, we're in it there in a sense, we are built to both worship God, but
Mm.
also to enjoy and to revel in God's presence and in God's glory. And so I think that, yeah, getting that balance is always that challenging one, because we tend to, what do we do? What does sin do to us? Sin says to us, kind of like, I can do it without God, right?
Mm.
Isn't that what happened with Adam and Eve in the garden? Serpent came along, hey, God is holding all this stuff back from me. You guys should just go out on your own. Yeah, I'll be your agent.
Yeah. You won't believe the
It's
deals I'll
going to
get
be
you.
great.
Yeah.
you know and that's what sin kind of does to us, is like, oh, you are so essential, whereas here's a thought for the day: you are not necessary. Okay, you are not necessary. Only God is necessary. And
Mm.
God, in his goodness and his love and his pleasure, he invites you to be a part of his amazing program.
I often think about it in terms of like a parent working with their child. If you've ever, say, baked with a kid or maybe done some kind of an outdoor project with the child is not required. So why is the
Yeah,
child there? Well, it's because the parent just loves to have them around and wants to share this experience. So it's
yeah,
not,
great illustration.
it's not an illustration of capacity or anything other than God expressing his relational need. And then we start to think, oh no, I'm here because of my skills and what I can do and nobody else can do what I can. Hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, no, you're totally right. So, I think that's where it's important for us to get that balance in life, just to remind us that I can go away and play a game of touch or
Mm,
go for a walk on the beach or whatever it is, or do a round of golf. Because, the reality is sport is quite important for us. Or even, as you say, spend some time sitting on the couch and playing Roblox or whatever it is that you want to play. Um, or just hanging out with your friends or putting on a dinner party. Those are all good and legitimate things in life, that the way that God has made us, we need these things, we need these moments in our
mm,
lives.
mm.
But it's just finding that balance, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it can reveal more gaps in our theology than we realize, how we feel when we stop moving. And that might be
Mm.
why the Bible tries to compel us. It tells us you have to take a break, you have to take a rest. And then those thoughts, those beliefs about ourselves come to the surface and we don't like them. So we say, well, if I'm busy, then I don't have to deal with them. So great thoughts, great discussion as always, Geoff. Are you taking more enrollments and things right now, or what's the opportunity with people who are wanting to get involved with Grace Theological College?
Yeah, no, sorry about that. The enrollments have closed. We're into our 5th week now of classes. So, but we will be putting up stuff on our website soon for next year, for
Nice.
semester 1, 2026. So that's part of the planning process now. But
Very
yeah.
nice. gtc.ac.nz when that info goes up, everyone. That's the place to go, and so you can learn from men like Geoff Macpherson. Geoff, thanks again, man. It's been fun.
Awesome. Theology is fun. There we go.
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.